And I need somebody to tell me if you can see me touching the screen. I don't know which way. I guess I can touch it over here and nobody will see it. Because I still got to touch the screen for the comments to work. Who all we got in here? And can everybody see me and hear me? Hey, Clearwater, Army Mobility, John Wood, Jeremy, how's everybody doing? And I've kind of got a tradition of, I try to keep my knives sharp, and I got a tradition of sharpening them while I was doing the lives, but it used to be on the laptop where I could see the comments and do this something else too, you know, can't now. Hey, Dave, glad to hear that, Army. You know, a dull knife ain't worth having. You can't keep them on where it'll cut, you might as well throw the thing away. Hey, Warren. Now say hi to Dave. Bear with me just a second. Let me put this mess up. I'm still old school. Use Arkansas stone instead of all these fancy new knife sharpeners they make. Let's see what we got. We got M&D Ranch. Jeremy, how's things going your way? We're 20 degrees here. Hey, Lucas. John, it's 20 degrees here right now. Ground's froze. That's something we're not used to. We got a little bit of snow. Night before last. Or that was here yesterday morning. I got 2 sows fixing to drop and 2 just got bred, John. Hey, Brian. I'm glad to hear that, Jeremy. Hey, preacher. Can y'all see my finger in front of the screen? I didn't realize it was so bad till the other day when I rewatched the video. Glad to, Isaac. And 12 ain't a bad size for a litter, really. Says we got 19 people. Who else is watching? I think it kind of hurt attendance when I started going up a little bit earlier. We might have to go back to 9 o'clock or 9:30. Isaac might have 15. Often enough, you know. Yes, sir. That's what we're here for. But anything over 10 is fine, Isaac, because a lot of times on the ground they won't raise but 10. Usually the older the sow, Isaac, to an extent, the older she is, the more she'll have. So like a 3-year-old sow is kind of in her prime, I guess, would be a good way to put it. And I've got one sow that's 7 years old. And a lot of people tell you that 7 years old, they're done. She's still having, she had 16 last time. But we only breed twice a year. We don't shoot for 3 times one year and 2 the next. I do think that makes a difference. Well, good, Lucas. I don't know if you know it or not, but I'm a do-rock guy. I like do-rock pigs. I don't have nothing against any of them, really, but I'm a big fan of Durocks, Hampshires, Chester Whites. What was your question, Mobility? Okay. Well, Mobility, I can help you. I ain't gonna lie to you, I know everything. Mobility, that'll fine. Hey, Kaleidoscope. None, Mobility. None. The only thing we've ever had any trouble killing pigs is a bulldog. I've heard the old people say panthers used to get them. But the only thing, honestly, we've ever had get into pigs was a pit bull or a bulldog or a Rottweiler or something along those lines. All mine are either Durock or Durock crosses, Lucas. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Jeremy. Mobility, if you'll go to some of our videos and look at how we've got, those hog panels are pretty predator proof with the hot wire around the top. I got 4 foot, Lewis. Now, depending on if you're going to do feeder pigs, which means you're going to kill them as light tops probably. A coyote, I ain't never had a coyote mess with a pig, Mobility. Now, I'm not going to say they can't, but they're old sow, especially as a good size sow, is pretty good to turn on her own. Well, hey, Stephanie. A horned owl will get a piglet, a little 10-pound piglet. And some big hawks will try. And bobcats will try when they're little. But you're talking about a 50-pound feeder pig inside a panel with a hot wire around the top of it. It'd be pretty hard for anything. Anybody can't fly or jump really good to get to them. We're pretty good, Stephanie. Lewis, what I was going to tell you was I put a wood post every 8 foot and a T-post in the middle on sun pins. And you may be able to get away with just tops with a hot wire on the inside with just a T-post. If that's all your budget will let you do, Hey, kinfolk. The reason we had to build our fences so stout is we've got breeding stock. We got boars that weigh 700 pounds and sows that weigh 800 pounds, and an 800-pound hog ain't much stops them. Yeah, I saw a couple of your comments. I'm glad to help you, Mobility. But I tend to overbuild them, and I don't have any problems. And on the hog wire fences, we just got a light pole every 10 foot, I think, with a hot wire on the inside. And other than having a lot of upkeep on them, and the fact that the hot wire is the only thing that keeps them in, is, it works fine. But the minute that electric fence goes off, there ain't nothing there to stop them. That hog wire when you always slow them down. It's more there for the mental barrier. They see the hog wire, they think it's a panel maybe, they don't try it, Anywhere from 6 to 10, Lucas, depending on the Clearwater. The only thing I need to tell you is the bottom rungs. See, they make a cow panel, a stock panel, and a hog panel. And I don't know which the stock or the cow. I've seen them advertised both ways. So I'm not sure which one's really which. But the hog panel's got the 2x4 slots at the bottom. I think the stock panel's 8x8 over the whole thing, and then the cow panel's got the hog slot, the 2x4 at the bottom, and the 4x8 or 8x8s at the top. Okay, well, good deal, Stephen. But yeah, they should all hold 50-pound pigs. I didn't catch that part there. Yeah, they would all hold 50-pound pigs. The stock panels won't hold piglets, like 3-week-old pigs, they won't stay in it. They'll run right through it. Yeah, that would be Clearwater. That would be perfect because you never know later on. I hate to build anything that won't work for whatever I want to use it for. And yeah, the 2x4 at the bottom, that'll work fine. And I cut a bunch of them down. I ain't gonna lie to you. We had a bunch of them that were all bent up at the bottom, and I just cut the bottom. I cut them down into hog panels, and they've got the big holes over the whole thing, but we're using them for top hogs for 200-pound hogs. I cut the bent part off and rolled right on with them. But around here we got to do what that's right, Clearwater. Not very, James. They either have righty. Oh, hey, there's Geeky, y'all. Geeky's back in here. Geeky's been sick. They either have within a couple of days either way, James, or we missed it and they're gonna have them 3 weeks later. The old sow stays in heat for about 3 or 4 days, and depending on when she took. Yeah, because we put ours in with the boy and leave them the whole time she's in heat. Let him breed her several times. Day just for 2, a 16 by 16. And I would try to have the shelter as not included into that. Yeah, Clearwater, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, I think everybody's been worried about Geeky. If I miss your question or don't get sidetracked, don't explain something, just say something else. And we put the sow back in with the boar 3 weeks later sometimes, and we'll be 3 weeks off. She'll get bred the second go around. But if you write it down right, most time you won't be about 4 days off on one or the other. And I keep trying to tell people that pigs have a piggy smell right before they're gonna have pigs. I don't know how to explain it. They got that baby pig smell. And I can tell you, I can walk by the pen, like you smell your boar, I smell them sows. And I can tell you when then tell you she's gonna have pigs tomorrow or today. Hey, Mike. We're glad to hear that, Gee. I wish I could figure out how to fix these doggone comments right and have to keep touching this screen. Y'all tell me you can't see my finger. I think last time I was doing it over here and you could see it. Okay, Clearwater, you know, I don't know if you were here last week, but you know, I sold my cows out, Clearwater. About 50 cents a pound. Good cows. Is Judy Ball in here? Hey, Judy. Good cows. Best cows I had. The ones I saved when I sold cows last time. About 50 cents a pound. Heavy breed. Well, try it, Michael. You can smell it. That's the way they do here, Angus. That's the way they do here. They steal our cows every time everything right here is a hog farm cow. Comes off of these commercial hog farms, and they use that as an excuse to steal them off. Plus mine were red. Just an excuse. The buyers work together and the farmers don't. I sold a pretty little bull, about 700 pounds. He brought 90 cents. But them brood cows didn't bring nothing. Didn't bring nothing to pay for gas, carry them down. The last ones everybody's are selling like that. And I knew it, and I was expecting it. It still broke my heart. But no individual wanted them. Yeah, I love a red cow too, Clearwater. Hey, Swafford. No, not at all, Steve. Mine won't eat collards. Won't eat cucumbers. Don't like squash. Won't eat pumpkins if you don't chop them up. I got a few that won't eat sweet potatoes. I got one sow that don't like a particular brand of hog feed. Refuses to eat it. If I'm feeding my homemade feed and give her store-bought feed, she won't eat store-bought feed. Okay, Gee. Well, Michael, if I had to sell pigs at the auction, which they don't have a pig auction here anymore. I mean, you can't even give them away. There's no slaughterhouse to take them. I'm not sure, preacher, what causes the prices to go up and down. But if you ever notice when steaks high in the grocery store, cows are cheap. I don't know what the correlation is there. But when you can't afford beef at the grocery store, if you go see cows, they won't bring nothing. Makes absolutely no sense. Mine won't, nothing except my old boars will eat them. Clearwater. They won't touch a cucumber. Yes, sir, Dave. If you're not going to have any big hogs, or if you put a hot wire on the inside and one on the top, you can get away with the T-post fine. Just remember, when you drive your T-post, don't drive it right on top of that upright bar. Don't match them up. Put it in the middle. You can get the insulator on. And that's all I ever use in the corners is a 4x4. And I told y'all what to do about that you can either take or go around it with a piece of chain and a couple of places put a lag bolt, or get you some strips like 1 by, thin 16 gauge 1-inch strip steel, and put it over the panel and lag bolt it through it. If you have trouble with them trying to get out, If you put that hot wire on the inside though, about a foot off the ground, you can get away with a whole lot less fence. Y'all go check out some of the videos. I got some fencing made about every practical way, stout, sturdy way. And I will tell you, I like the hog wire least of all. It's the best as far as expense and ease of putting it up, because if you put it up on light poles, you can throw a pin up. You can have a pin up in a day. If you got some way to stretch that wire, and it's very economical. It's a third of the price of panels. But the only thing keeping them in all honesty, is that electric wire. If that electric wire didn't work, they would not stay there. I've seen that. And they know when it's off. I only use it for the bigger hogs to kind of respect the electric wire a little better, and I get away with it. Then we used it for topping pin this year, one of them. Well, good deal, Clearwater. I'm going to start doing feeder calves. Well, if you can do that, Geeky, that's fine. What I'm thinking about doing, I got rid of my brood cows thing, I guess I'll be honest with you. I'm thinking about, I've got a lot of friends that run a lot of cows, and cows are cheap, steers are cheap. I'm thinking about buying 2 or 4 feeder steers. I've got enough pasture. It won't cost me much to run them through the summer. By the time I'd have to start feeding them anyway, I'm thinking about finishing them for about a month. Get them around 800-900 pounds, finish them up about 950. Throw the feed to them for 2 weeks. That's what my daddy used to do. Put just a little marbling in the beef and get them killed and sell 1 for beef and keep 1, or sell 1 1/2 and keep 1/2. Whatever I have storage for. We get so many hogs killed that I don't know how much freezer space we'll have. And you can't buy a freezer now. Where are you at, Clearwater? I know you told me before. Yeah, Dave, go look at our video. You can see pretty good in the videos We've got pens built with T-post. We've got pens built with light bowls. We've got pens built with 4x4s, oak 4x4s, 4x6s. You know, Clearwater, that's what all I used to have was Angus Holstein Cross. My uncle owned a dairy. We always run that's good. Everybody put where you at up there. Well, that's a good deal, Dave. You can build a whole lot with 10 panels. Hey, Keto. Good night, Kaleidoscope. Southern Michigan. How do y'all deal with the cold up there in Michigan and Wisconsin and those places like that? That's something I've always... Middle Tennessee. Okay, Judy, I would have had nothing. Grain's still a little cheap here, Pete. Soybeans are up pretty good if you didn't book them too cheap. Mobility's in Alabama. Corn, which actually corn being cheap helps me, Pete. No, you didn't, John. I'm fascinated by that. South Mississippi. Geeky's in Florida. Yeah, it was 20 degrees here. It's 20 degrees here right now, Geeky. And then here too, Michael. Northern Colorado, Brian Jones. It went up $1.50 for pig and sow. But see, I still make it for the same thing I've been making it for. The supplement didn't go up. It actually went down a little bit. So, thank God I can make feed. Clearwater 32 by 32 pen 50. You can do that. Angus, ain't no problem with that. I grow some peas, sometimes we grow some pumpkins, but I can get so much. Isaac, I make a 14 to 16% pig starter. $80 for 500 pounds. It'd be $160 for 1,000. That ain't too bad, Lucas. Boy Scout house. Okay. But anyway, the only difference between it and the topping feed or anything else is a grinder. I run through the grinder twice. And we put a little molasses in it to cut the dust down. Liquid molasses, not molasses powder. I use corn, sorghum, sometimes soybean meal. Yeah, it's in the 20s here, Judy. Well, Clearwater, I just got a hammer meal. A good friend of mine just brought me a hammer meal this weekend. I think ours is, I think I can get some from the mill, Pete, if I get it in bulk. But I got about 6 tons. I think I can get some for about $250 a ton. Yeah, Michael, that's what I want to do. I want a tank. So I can get a tank cheap, especially now they closed all these farms down. Yeah, he is, Pete. It's Johnny Sharp's who it is. He buys a bunch of pigs from him, and he got this hammer meal, and he delivered it, and I mean, from several hours away. Yeah, I like soybean meal, but it's a little bit expensive. Okay, M&D. Well, I saw one online I wanted to try out. But you see, I've got an antique burr mill, and the thing with it is it grinds. You can make some feed with that joke. It'll do 200 pound an hour, easy, you know. And but that hammer mill, I bet it'll do faster than that. And I've got a mixer grinder that goes behind a tractor I make cow feed with. Yeah, I see it's over here on the side screen. Hey, Smalls beef. It's higher than that here, Pete. It's 15, might be 18. I didn't check it today. J man, we're still here. I'm still here. Well, the ground's froze, Judy. The ground froze. When was the last time you saw the ground froze? I think it might be 18. I think there's been some booked around here for 18, Pete. Well, we had that about a half-inch mobility yesterday and gone by 10, you know. But it was cold and the wind was blowing. And it was cold this morning and the wind was blowing. I don't know if we got a half-inch. It might have been a quarter-inch. We don't get no more snow than y'all do. Go ahead. Clearwater, do what y'all need to do. Well, you know, all my buddies are grain farmers Christmas, and you know, I hear the soybean report every morning, but I didn't want around anybody today. Yeah, cry on. I'd hate to know that. That'd be a major snow on him here, you know. Yeah, geeky, keep bragging. I got collards outside. Lewis, if you got them in panels, you can get away without it. But if you had the access to one, it wouldn't hurt anything. And we put a hot wire around the top of our panel fences to keep the big sows in. But a good panel on a good post will keep a 200-pound pig in. He can't hardly get out of it, you know. Now, once they start getting 250, 300 and bigger, yeah, you ain't gonna stop him. But what do you think about them, Geeky? They're a different kind of collar than what you used to. I ain't sure what that is, Pete. Is that a starter feed? I think I seen one. Well, I don't see what hurt anything, Pete. We got our own. Our pigs are vet checked. They get vaccinated and get blood work done every year because we're a certified disease-free herd. And that's something I tell you that'll help you a whole lot if you're selling breeding stock. If you'll have them checked, or you got a piece of paper that says they don't have anything, it means you get more money for them. And people are more comfortable coming from Alabama to North Carolina to buy a pig. So always remember that. If you can get some vet work done, do some fecals, do some blood work, it'll help you. Getting back to what we were talking about a while ago, pigs at auction are bringing 50 cents, 14 cents, or nothing. And we're getting $3 a pound for ours. Small be a 20-foot continuous pound of plywood field fence at the bottom, so it's small. When you say 20-foot continuous panels, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, Smalls. The cheapest way to keep them is a piece of electric wire. You can put them in pallets if you put electric wire around the bottom of it. But then you're relying on the electric wire. And the problem with that is pigs are good at making that joker not work. They're good at rooting dirt on it. They're good at tearing it down. Some pigs don't pay it no mind. I know y'all have all seen people that could touch them and it wouldn't bother. Oh, I know, Judy. I had some boys before the electric fence wouldn't bother them at all. And I've got a pretty hot box for mine. And I've had them walk through it. You could hear it eating them up from 20 foot away. You could see fire jump that far when it get dark. You get out there at dusk, dark, once you stick your nose to it, the fire jump, get them that far, they just back up. Oh, you talking about stock corral panels, Smalls beef like they use for cows? Maybe if you wanted to put a 2-foot piece of, if you had a bunch of extra plywood, you could probably do that. But just remember that pig's gonna pick that joker up. Yeah, Pete, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you got to. That's why I put a post every 4 foot. And Michael back, we used to have them down there in the woods where there wasn't no electricity, there wasn't no way to get a hot wire down there without running one all the way around everything. We used to put a post every 4 foot and a short post in the middle. I take an 8-foot post and cut it in half and put one in the middle, stick it out the ground a couple of a foot or so in the middle to keep them from bowing. So basically, you had a post stop on 2-foot intervals, and they still tear them up, pick them, slam out the ground. Yeah, Matt, you need a perimeter fence. See, some people get away with just the electric wire. I got friends that do it, and I got friends that chase pigs all the time with a bit of electric wire. It depends on the pigs, man. Some of them will stay in the hot fence, some of them won't. And I don't feel comfortable recommending anybody to put them in just a hot fence because I know it'll fail miserably. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen here. Well, Michael, if you can hold a pig in a panel with just a panel, nothing to keep him off of it, it takes a lot of post. That's big hogs now. Now, feeder pigs, 200-pound tops, they're not strong enough to pull that out of the ground. When you take old big sow, I've had him grab the side of a panel fence with a post every 4 foot, bury 3.5 foot in the ground, and pick the whole thing up and walk under it. They're just a mini bulldozer. If they can get their nose in it, they can break it. I've had them bow the panel up like something off Bugs Bunny and walk under it. Yeah, I despise running pigs right on. No, I don't, preacher. We set them right on top of the ground. I don't bury nothing. The only time I'll bury a piece of fence is on a hill and it's going to look stupid. And I'm so OCD. Like some of these pins out here, the high side's in the ground 6 inches so it'll be level. But it won't to keep the pigs in. It was because I'm funny and I could tell it was crooked looking at it and I couldn't deal with it. But see, pigs are going to make their pen into a bowl anyway, preachers. They're going to root the dirt from the middle to the outside and they're going to bury the panel a little bit themselves, you know. Well, there's some truth in that too, John. If they ain't hungry, they're less likely to get out. They get hungry, they start looking, you know. Hey, lemonade. Okay, M&D. I'm glad you told me that because I've been thinking about a solar charger for backup. And I used to try, I've tried them in years past and they were just so, I mean, I hate it. Use the word, they were useless. And I understand that the panels have got better and the batteries are better and well, man, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I got friends that their pigs are broken. See, we put a training wire. I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but in our farrowing houses, if you'll notice right beside the house on the outside, there's a training wire. And it's there for 2 reasons. One is to keep the sow from tearing the side off the shelter, which they'll do that. And the other is it's low to the ground, and it's to train the pivots where the hot fence is. So all of our pivots are trained to a hot fence when we sell them as a courtesy to the customers, you know. So they don't get a pig from us that doesn't know where the electric wire is and can put in their electric fence and just runs through it. But some of them won't stay in. I got to go walk around for just a second. But I'll be right back. All right, I'm sorry about that. I'm still short assistant. Okay, man. Yeah, I wonder about that too, John. Well, it's good to hear, M&D. I just want it for a backup. I just want it where I can. We have these hurricanes down here, and the current goes off 2 weeks at a time. And like I said, that won't an issue as long as I had everything with panels, because panel will keep them in. Unless you got a problem, when the panel will keep them in. But these hog wire fences I'm using won't nah, they ain't gonna stay in there. The only way they stay in a hog wire fence is got to be pulled banjo string tight on a good post every 5 foot, stalled down in 2 places in the middle between that, maybe a 2x6 nailed across the bottom, and they still might not stay in it. They used to have pretty good luck with them, was that big places. They fenced off 5 acres to put 10 hogs in it. But nowadays you can't really do that. They got the space, you know. I want to check out John's thing over here, but I'm scared to because every time I try to do that during the live, I'd keep something up. Well, that's what ours used to be made out of, Judy, with cinder blocks. Okay. Okay, Matt. So you're telling me I could take a deep cycle, I could get a battery operated one and run off a trolling motor battery. So down here, there's plenty of trolling motor batteries. Good deal, Matt, because that would take care of my problem because we're not going to be out of current that long, and I'm running generators anyway, so I could charge the battery back up. I could actually put it in my service truck and charge it back up because I got a place in my service truck to hook it and let the alternator charge it back. But I got an alternator that'll do that. Most of them won't, from dead. I don't know, Mobility. I don't know if mine's in joules or amps. I know it's a hot joker, but I had it turned up. So whatever's wrote on it ain't right anyway. It's at the maximum allowable law. Well, that's what the man said that did it anyway. You know, a fence charger ain't nothing like a battery charger with a flasher in it. Okay, Matt. Well, that's a good idea. Hey, Osmond. How are you doing tonight? Well, preacher, I don't know. At the grocery store, we got a freezer full. I know we sold some of ours for $4.50 a pound, and they were glad to get it. So I was thinking I might should charge $5.50. Where are you at, Osmond? I know you're here, but what part of here? You told me before, but I swear I can't remember. Okay, Osmond. You know, we're in Lenoir County. Go ahead, Brian. Just about, Osmond. Just about. We're just about as close to the beach as you can get without being there, and you're just about as close to the mountains as you can get without being there, I think. I'm going to try to get a video soon to show you our new Tamsworth bore. Well, that's what I'm saying, Osmond. I guess that's, you know, we're coastal. We're not at the beach. You got another 30 minutes. We're where everybody stops to get gas before they get there. And if you can go in a straight line, it's closer than that. I guess I'm going to be using this tablet. I don't know. You need an 8x8 shelter, 3-sided shelter, Brian, depending on where you at. If you're anywhere like here where it ain't that cold, if you're up north, you're gonna need 4 walls. 8x8 with a pig board. If you'll go to that video I made talking about I don't know if I was talking about fairing houses in it, the fairing pins. I did a video on that to show you what the inside of it looks like. Yeah, Matt. If you touch the hot and the ground on mine at the same time, if you hit the panel, which the panel's grounded, if you hit the panel and the hot wire at the same time, if you got a weak heart, it might will kill you. I've had to put people on their knees. Clearwater, would you believe I got a GoPro here and never used it? I know we can't figure the thing out. You probably need 4 sides on your shelter. And definitely a heat lamp for the pigs in there. That's about the way it is. Hey, there's Thomas Smith. That's about the way it is here in Mobility. Hey, Amber. But if you're cold, you need a heat lamp for the pigs to get under, not on top of shavings. Don't put it on top of straw, and you got to have something to keep the sow off. Like I said, you can see it in that video a whole lot better than I explained it to you. But I guess I ain't gonna be able to quit coughing. I'm gonna get off here. But y'all finished talking amongst yourselves, and this one had to be a little short live tonight. But I am gonna try to start putting up some more videos this week coming up. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Osmond. Y'all kind of finish up amongst yourselves, and I'll be right back. And y'all good night, everybody. And I appreciate you watching. And I'll come back in a minute and sign off. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I ain't used to talking so much. Or what? If y'all have any questions that we didn't get to, just ask them in the comments. And I don't feel bad. I just can't. I can't quit coughing. Well, thank you, Clearwater. I'm gonna try to start getting some videos back up. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Well, Brian, I'm gonna try to. We'll see what happens. I got to get everything figured out. But I got plenty of them I want to do. Thank you, Stephanie. Good night. I'm hitting a Diet Mountain Dew Wheat Swamp. It ain't doing no good. Need to mix something in there, I reckon. Might need to, preacher. But anyway, y'all have a good one, and I do appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Yeah, a little stronger, but I do appreciate it. And I don't remember how to sign this thing off. But anyway, y'all have a good night. You might be here with me all night, because I don't remember how to cut it off. Oh, okay. There we go. Y'all have a good night now.